Assalamu alaikum, ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. A lot of time when we converse in the Arabic language, we do mix the verb that we use for both masculine and feminine. We do not really have the knowledge of what the feminine verbs are different from the verbs for the masculine. Now let's consider these two sentences on the board. The first one says, Qala Khalidun. Khalid said. The second says, Yaqulu Khalidun. Khalid is saying. Here it means that we have two different verb tenses. The first one is a past tense verb, qala, which is a past tense verb. He said in the past. The word Yaqulu is a present tense verb. And I'm telling you that these two words you can see, they can only be used for masculine, because when you say qala, and the listener will already know that the speaker would be a male. That's why we say qala khalidun. And when the subject of a sentence is a male, a masculine, then the verb should also be in the masculine form. The same thing when the present tense verb is also in the masculine, the subject will be masculine. Qala Khalidun, Khalid said. Yaqulu Khalidun, Khalid is saying. What if we want to change this to what? To the name of a female. Let's say we want to use Mariamu. How do we change this? Is it still correct for us to say Qala Mariamu and Yaqulu Mariamu? No, this is not correct. This is what will bring us to the topic Alamatu Ta'nith fil Af'al, the sign of feminism in verbs. Now, for the past tense verb, there is a different sign, while for the present tense verb, there is also a different sign. For the past tense verb, the sign is simply ta'un sakina, which is a ta that has sukun. This is to say, when we say qala Khalidun, to change it to Maryam, we simply say qalat Maryamu, adding the ta'un with sukun to it, ta'un sakin. Qalat Maryamu. If it was to be dhahaba Khalid, Khalid went, it would have been dhahabat Maryamu. Coming to the present tense verb, since we said the yaqulu, now for the present tense verb, the sign of feminism will be ta'un mutaharrika. It is the ta which has haraka. Instead of yaqulu, it will be taqulu Maryamu. Maryam is saying. Instead of yadhhabu Khalidun, it will be tadhhabu Maryamu. So think of a lot of verbs. The word la'iba Ahmadu. Ahmad played. If you want to say Fatima played, it will be la'ibat Fatima too. The same way, if you want to say Ahmad is playing, it will be yal'abu Ahmadu. To change it to Fatima, it will be tal'abu Fatima. To summarize, the sign of feminism for the masculine, for the past tense verb, for the feminine, it will be what? Ta'un with sukun. Qalat. For the present tense verb, it will be ta'un with haraka, like taqulu, tadhhabu, ta'kulu. You can say ta'kulu Aisha too. Aisha is eating. This, we want to discuss it from the book An-Nahwu al-Wadih in details. So let's quickly look at the topic from here. He says, Alamatu Ta'nith fil Af'al, the signs of feminism in the verbs. We have examples. Example number one says, La'ibat Fatimatu. Fatima played. You can see La'ibat with the ta. Number two, you have Labisat Zainabu Thawba. Zainab wore clothes. Wore the clothes. Labisat. Number three, we have Da'abat Hirratun Awladaha. The female cat played with her children. You can see Hirratun, we also use the word La'ibat because Hirratun is considered to be a feminine word. Number three, we have we have number four, Akalat Fa'ratun Zubda. The rat ate the butter. Number five, we have Arada'at Shatun Hamala. The goats breastfeeded the baby. Number six, we have Sa'adat Fatatun Ummaha. A girl helped her mother. Sa'adat with the ta. On this side, we have Tal'abu Fatima. The present tense, it is what Fatima is playing. On number two, we have Talbasu Zainabu thawba. Zainab is putting on her the cloth. Number 3, we have Tudaibu Hiratun Awladaha. The cat is playing with her children. Number 4, Ta'kulu Fa'ratun Zubada. Then we have Turdi'u Shatun Hamala. Then 6, Tusa'idu Fatatun Ummaha. A girl is helping her mother. Let's come to Al-Bahthu. It says, Unzur ila al-amthilati sabiqa. Look at the previous examples. تجد أنها جمل فعلية تتركب من فعل وفاعل. You find out that all of the examples above are verbal sentences that have both verb and subject. ثم انظر إلى الفاعل في كل جملة. Then again look at the subject of each of the sentences, وهو which are فاطمة, زينب, هرة, and the rest. ترى أنه يدل على مؤنث. You will see that all of the subject, the fa'il that you see there, they are representing females. وعند تأمل الأفعال الماضية في القسم الأول, and when you try to study the past tense verb in the first section, والمضارع في القسم الثاني, and the present tense in the second section, تجد في آخر كل فعل ماضي تاء ساكنة. You will see that at the end of every past tense verb there is a ta'un that has sukun, like la'ibat, labisat, da'abat, akalat, arda'at, sa'adat, mashallah. وفي أول كل فعل مضارع تاء متحركة. And at the beginning of every present tense verb, you see that there is a ta'un mutaharrika, a ta that has haraka. Now, وَلَمْ تَأْتِ هَذِهِ التَّاءُ فِي آخِرِ الْمَاضِي وَفِي أَوَّلِ الْمُضَارِعِ إِلَّا لِأَنَّ الْفَاعِلَ مُؤَنَّثٌ وَتُسَمَّى كُلُّ تَاءٍ مِنْهُمَا عَلَامَةَ التَّأْنِيثِ. And this ta that you see at the end of past tense verb standing for feminine, and the ta that you see at the beginning of present tense verb, they do not just appear like that, except that they are appearing because the subject of each of the sentence are feminine subjects. And this type of ta, they are called the signs of feminism. Now we have the rules. Al-Qawaid, the rule number 1 says, إِذَا كَانَ الْفَاعِلُ مُؤَنَّثًا كَانَ الْفَعِلُ مُؤَنَّثًا. If the subject is a feminine subject, the object should also be a feminine object. If the subject is a feminine subject, the verb should be a feminine object. Rule number 1 says, إِذَا كَانَ الْفَاعِلُ مُؤَنَّثًا كان الفعل مؤنثا. If the subject is a feminine, the verb should be feminine. Number 2 says علامة التأنيث في الفعل الماضي تاء ساكنة في آخره. The sign of feminism at the past tense verb is the ta'un that has sukun at the end of the past tense verb. Number 3 says علامة التأنيث في الفعل المضارع, while the sign of feminism in the present tense verb ta'un mutaharrikatun fi awwalihi, it is the ta that has haraka at the beginning of the verb. Now we have tamrinat exercises. تمرين الأول says ضع فاعلا ومفعولا به لكل فعل من الأفعال الآتية. The following verbs you have to produce their subjects. The first one, we have the word tabakhat, which means she cooked. You can simply say tabakhat ummi, my mother cooked. The second is qadhafa. You can say qadhafa al-waladul qurrata, the boy kicked the ball. The next is rotabat. You can say rotabat fatimatul ghurfata. Fatima arranged the room. The next is the word tuti'u. You can say tuti'ul bintu ummaha. The girl is obeying her mother. Next you have the word habasa. You can say habasa shurutiyu al-hirrata. The policeman arrested the cat. You can solve the remaining by yourself. Tamrin al-Thani, exercise number 2, it says ij'al kulla ismin min al-asma'il atiya fa'ilan li fi'lin yunasibuhu. The following nouns, make them as subjects to a corresponding verb or to an appropriate verb. The first one is alisu. You can say saroko lisu. The thief stole. The next one is anamlatu. You can say ladagotni namlatu. The namla beats me. Alba'udatu, which is what? Which is a mosquito. You can say lasa'anil ba'udatu. Lasa'atnil ba'udatu. Then namlatu, it will be ladagotni, mashallah. Then al-himaru, you can say Far al-himaru. Then far al-himaru. Then next we have al-baqaratu. You can say anjabatil baqaratu. MashaAllah, you can solve the remaining by yourself. تمرين الثالث number 3 we have اكتب الجمل الآتية بعد جعل الفاعل المذكر مؤنثا في كل جملة. He says all of the following sentences you should rewrite them after making the subject of each of them, which are in the masculine form, into the feminine form. Number 1 we have shakara al-waladu umma. The boy appreciated his mother. We can say shakaratil bintu ummahu. Number 2 we have yahmilul bai'ul burtuqala. The seller is carrying the oranges. So you can say tahmilul bai'atul burtuqal. Number 3 we have yurabbil fallahu dajaja. The male farmer is what is training the chicken. You can say turabbil fallahatu dajaja. MashaAllah. You can solve the remaining by yourself. تمرين رابع exercise number 4 it says اكتب الجمل الآتية بعد جعل الفعل المؤنث مذكرا في كل جملة. You are to rewrite the following sentences after making the subject of the sentence which are in the feminine form into the masculine. Number 1 we have خافت القطة الكلب. The cat feared the dog. You can say خاف القط الكلب. Number 2 you have تأكل الحمارة البرسيم. You can say يأكل الحمار البرسيم. Number 3 تشكو المريضة الألم. You can say يشكو المريض الألم. So you can solve the remaining by yourself. With this we come we still have تمرين الخمس exercise number 5. Number 1 says هاتي أربع جمل فعلها ماض. Bring 4 sentences. The verb should be a past tense verb. والفاعل مؤنث, and the subject should be feminine. والمفعول به مذكر, and the object should be masculine. I'm going to solve one of these. Solve the remaining. I will simply say ضربت الأم الولد. The mother ضربت الأم الولد. The mother beat her son, the son. Number 2 we have هاتي أربع جمل فعلها ماض. Bring 4 sentences also with past tense verb. And the والفاعل مذكر, the subject should be masculine. والمفعول به مؤنث, and the object should be feminine. I could simply say ضرب الأستاذ البنت. So the teacher beats the what? The girl. Number 3 we have هاتي أربع جمل فعلها مضارع. Bring 4 sentences. The verb should be a present tense verb. والفاعل مؤنث, and the subject should be a feminine subject. والمفعول به مذكر, and the object should be masculine. I could simply the same sentence and say تضرب الأم الولد. Number 4 we have هاتي أربع جمل. Form 4 sentences. فعلها مضارع منفي بلام. The present tense verb should be a verb that is what? A negative verb with the word lan. والفاعل مؤنث, and the subject should be مؤنث. I could simply say لن تذهب مريم. Maryam will never go. MashaAllah. Now we have تمرين في الإنشاء, exercise on al-insha. What you have to do is صف كل ما تعمله المرأة إذا أرادت صنع الخبز. You are to explain and explain everything that a woman needs to do if she want to bake bread. من أول شراء القمح, from beginning of buying the wheat, إلى أن يصير خبزا, till it becomes bread. مستعملا جملا فعلية, using a verb, a verbal sentences, ماضوية ومضارعة, both in the past tense verb and in the present tense format. Here you can see the explanation. With this, we come to the end of this lesson. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us understanding. Until we meet again, jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum.